Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so pleased because so many of you have been involved with Long Beach CaLL that you could probably do this presentation better than me. So hopefully you'll bear with me and maybe you'll learn a couple of new things. Certainly not new to anybody who knows me is that those business partners who are now talking directly through Long Beach CaLL as opposed to hearing from 6 teachers at Poly and 5 teachers at Cabrillo. You know, I asked them to help so much, they'd probably rather go back to having all of those teachers call them instead of calling me. So before I get started, I just wanted to point out that you have a couple of items that are in your packets, and we're going to talk about those. So there are a couple of one-pagers, and those will be the first slides that you see. And then we've also given you our first ever annual report. I understand that I have 2 hours to talk to you today, so we'll be going.
Let me correct you on that.
Okay, so you don't want to go through this page by page?
We don't.
You don't? Okay, good. So that's goodness. Thank goodness we got that cleared up. The focus of the workshop, I know, is on the summer programs that Long Beach CaLL provided. It's basically our summer internship program. But I did want to give you all just a very quick overview of what Long Beach CaLL accomplished in this past academic year. And so you can see that we were able to serve 1,750 of our students. Those students came from 13 different Long Beach Unified School District schools. We were able to facilitate interactions between those students and over 200 of our local business professionals. And I'm very pleased because the business professionals represent a wide range of industries, 12 industries in total. So other than the internships, we provided additional work-based learning activities, in total 121 distinct work-based learning activities. So you heard Pete mention externships. Long Beach CaLL also provides externships to teachers. It's one of my favorite things to do. They love going, and then of course, you know, when you put a teacher in an office for, you know, a day and they're so enthusiastic about, you know, the new stuff. It's just a lovely way to introduce a business to the Long Beach Unified School District by having, you know, one of our finest. They're, you know, really interested in bringing up to current industry practice their own knowledge of the industry. We also provide industry professionals who come into our classrooms as guest speakers. They come in and do review of student projects, or in cases, judge competitions. We bring them out to visit workplaces so that students can kind of see, you know, not just what goes on in the front of the, you know, the front office, but also what goes on in the back office. And I would encourage you all, because you have taken such a great interest, to keep your ears open for things that are coming up. We have some really terrific events coming up in the next 2 months, and we do our best to keep you informed of those. So, ta-da, total 15,430 hours of service. So now to the internship program. So this slide just shows you, you know, a couple of metrics that we use, and it also shows you the comparison between the big numbers, which are summer 2018, and the small numbers, which are summer 2017. You know, I'm proud of these numbers. We have a lot of scale that we have to accomplish. You know, we do. We have a lot of students who need the services. So, that being said, in 2017, we had 43 summer internships. In 2018, we had 93 summer internships. That's more than double, so that's a number I like. We had 52 employers who participated in the summer internship program compared to 26 in 2017. Again, that's a nice 100% increase. In 2017, the students who did internships did just over 3,000. and this summer just over 10,000. We had 42 paid internships, 51 unpaid internships this summer. The numbers for 2017 are 34 and 9. And I just think it's fabulous that these students are, taken on for the summer and then provided with job offers. These are high school kids, and the number would be much larger, if we were talking about what summer interns can do if they had what are sometimes required, which is the college degree. You would be so proud of your students. And I'm going to share just a few more things with you, which will make your pride that much higher. So that slide is to show you the participation in the program by school. And the darker color is 2018, the lighter color is 2017. I think the part about this that I'm pleased with is that we had significant increases in student placements from 5 of our high schools, from CAMS, from Jordan, from McBride, from Poly, and from Sato. So, our word is getting out. The kids are stepping up because they do really jump through a lot of hoops, and that's why they are so successful. At least we think that's one of the reasons. They really have to work to get one of these, and then they really have to work when they're there, and they do. So this slide is to just show you who those 52 employers were, and I'm grateful for every one of them, and I think it's really cool because on that list are included employers like Gulfstream and Kaiser Permanente, Long Beach Transit, Long Beach Memorial, our Toyota subsidiary, TABC. We've really got some terrific employers stepping up to take on our students. Okay, so CaLL is very committed to evaluating our programs. And so now I'm going to just share some of the data that we collected. We provide every employer who participates and every student who participates with a survey that we ask them to complete. And this is what business partners said about Long Beach CaLL and about our student interns. These are highlights. You said I had another 2 hours. So we go.
No.
Okay. So you'll have to read that annual report for additional details. What did our employers have to say about Long Beach CaLL? 95% more or less reported that our pre-internship preparation of our students met or exceeded their expectations. Over 97% of our employers reported that our responsiveness, my small but mighty team, met or exceeded their expectations. We really try to make the process easy and seamless. We know that that's how we will, not only keep the employers who participate, but increase that number. So now that I haven't lost a job, look at those. More importantly, what did they have to say about the student interns? And I think this is, it's just extraordinary. We asked the partners to rate the students based on those soft skills, those 21st century skills that we know employers always report they can't find new hires with those skills. So what we've showed you is what our business partners said about students' ability to problem solve and critically think, what their opinions were about our student interns in terms of their overall effectiveness. And, adaptability is another very important criteria. You hear that all the time from employers. We have additional skills, not time to present them all to you. But, teamwork and communication and all that stuff. So 95% of our employers reported that the students met or exceeded their expectations in problem solving. 96.7% said our students met or exceeded their expectations in overall effectiveness, and 95% of our employers reported that students met or exceeded their expectations in adaptability. Those skills translate to whatever else these students are going to do. What did our students have to say about their internship experience? The first pie chart shows you that when we asked students, did the internship help build your awareness of the variety of careers, right? Both the front room ones and the back room ones that aren't obvious. 96% agreed or strongly agreed that the internship provided them with an ability to see those different types of careers in an industry. And 93% reported that the internship helped them begin to identify areas of career interest. So not just the range and the variety of careers, what are they interested in out of that big range of careers in that industry? We also asked students about technology. It's amazing what the students do, you know. There's so many stories that I've heard in terms of how incredibly quick they are at learning it. And I think for me, you know, they're not afraid of it. You know, they may not know how to do formulas in Excel. You know, unlike me, you know, will probably never learn how to do that. They do that in the first week of the internship, and then they're doing that for that business for the rest of the summer. It's great. So 93% of the students strongly agreed that the internship exposed them to the use of technology at the work site, and 96% agreed or strongly agreed that the internship taught them the importance of workplace skills, such as attendance, punctuality, communication. So this is the flip side, you know, of the soft skills. What did the employers have to say, and what did the kids, you know, feel themselves? I just want to give you a quick couple of quotes from our employers and from our students. Oh, look, there's the donation slide. That's excellent. Because, you know, we read these, and again, every single thing that every person said about the program is in your annual report. So I didn't just cherry pick, you know, the best ones. You guys can look at all of them, and I think you'll enjoy what you read. One employer told us that the intern that Long Beach CaLL provided was exceptional. He was punctual, dressed professionally, friendly, and ready to tackle new projects and initiatives. It was such a pleasure to have someone that was eager to learn and continue to grow. Our intern was very quiet and reserved in the beginning, and seeing him expand his knowledge and interpersonal skills was what we found so rewarding. Not only was he assisting us, he was also developing his skills. You know, that's exactly what we want, right? That win-win for the student and the employer. Another employer said the students worked hard, gave us great ideas, and were a big help with our community relations efforts all summer long. I have nothing but great things to say about the students and the program. And finally, I was blown away with the help of the program. They went out of their way to make sure that they connected us with the perfect match to our needs. Again, not time to provide everything that the students said in terms of career interests and how they changed, right? That's important. You know, whether you decide that, you know, you loved what you did, which is consistent with what you thought, or, you know, you hated what you did, which was inconsistent. Those are great things for students to take home. A couple of quotes from our students. I was previously undecided on what type of engineer I would like to be, but now that I've completed my internship, I think it's a lot more clear to me that I would like to major in civil engineering. Great. Another student says, I wanted to work for a large company, but I realized that working local sounds more enticing. From one of the students who worked with youth providing nonprofit, you know, I now have a revived passion for working with kids. You know, I just want to, I guess, follow up on something that Pete said about the graduate profile. So if you look at the graduate profile, right, so the areas I would point out in particular, you know, the desire to graduate students who are college and career ready, to graduate students who are critical and innovative problem solvers, to graduate students who will be adaptable and productive citizens, and who will be effective communicators and collaborators. This is what an internship experience with Long Beach CaLL does for these students. I can't think of something, frankly, that is more directly relatable to those skills than a real life, work experience. So I'm going to conclude. I really do want to say again, thank you for your support. I feel very supported what Long Beach CaLL does. I feel very supported by our Board of Education and all of our education partners. It's a lovely part of my job. I finally will say that our grant funding is going to expire this year. It's going to expire in June. We are working very, very hard to find replacement funding. And if anyone might be interested, feel free to write checks yourselves. You can certainly go right to our website, www.longbeachcall.org, to get additional information or to donate. Thank you so much. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too. Thank you. That was a
So, do you
quick
have any
2
questions
hours.
about this portion of the program?
Yes. Hi, Jean.
Hi.
Thank you. Quick question, Jean. So assuming that we want to continue offering these wonderful experiences for our students and or expanding or strengthening them, you mentioned funding is definitely important. Is there a desire to expand the potential partners, and or is it also a combination of student interest to
Right.
to be able to do that?
Student interest is far outweighs our current partnerships
Okay.
with employers.
Okay.
So it's another terrific way to support us. If you know folks who are here in the local business community, you can, I make it as easy as possible.
Okay.
I'll write the email introduction, and I'll take it from there.
Thank you.
Gene, and I've already given you a check, so.
That's correct. Thank you, Felton.
But this program has a very special interest for me personally. Since so many of our students in our district are in poverty areas, the opportunity to go to work, or whether it's paid or unpaid, does a number of things to lift that student. And in turn, that student becomes a different person, particularly in how they look at themselves in education, if they have that opportunity to change some dynamics in their lives. That's why I think this program is so important. And for the students who are, let's say, mired in some very deep poverty, walking in that classroom really does not help them. But having a way to gain some self-respect through a job or something of this nature turns that kid around 100%. So, this is very, very important that we have this program, that we have somebody with the fire like you to lead it, and hopefully we can scale this up. And what I'd really be very interested in is seeing the research that we do on the program down the line for the kids who are in the working and in employment, particularly the kids who are from our very, very high stressed areas, to see if there's been a difference in a number of indicators for those kids versus kids who are not in the program. Have we seen grade improvement? Have we seen improvements in attendance? Have we seen improvements in kids who want to go to college? But being able to scale that up over time to see what the impact of this program, what it has in terms of its overall ramifications for our district. So, and I know I've hounded Chris to death about looking at this, but I'm glad that we finally are there and making some significant movement in this area. Thank you very much.
I hound Chris so much that he made me move to a new building.
Yeah.
So,
that's both of us.
anything else? No. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pete, just before you get started, I just wanted to point out, Dr. Benitez, I was looking at this list and we were talking during the Measure E presentation about, having an expectation on the partners that we work with doing our building work, and I'm looking at 2H Construction and Balfour Beatty and Clark and Erickson Hall and Neff and all of these folks who we know are currently building our schools, are stepping up to the plate and being a part of it. So it was nice to see that after that conversation this morning.